It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose. I don't even know whether I'm coming or going. I'm telling you. All right, so
we're on.
Yeah, you do that. Do that thing.
You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or go to radiozero.us. We're live streaming, I think, on Facebook, on the Radio Zero page and the Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJCUSA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. You can patronize us at patreon.com/Radio Zero. Woo!
All right, man.
It's a hot one.
What are you going to say? And the forecast is hot.
Trying to get our son to watch
every movie that you've ever seen.
Yeah, every good movie.
But
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing. Hi, Tim. Because
Samuel L. Jackson.
Spike Lee.
Well, yeah,
he's
that too.
Interested in film.
But Samuel L. Jackson is a person that is in Do the Right Thing and is also, 12-year-olds and 17-year-olds know who Samuel L. Jackson is.
Oh, yeah,
also.
okay. So you should watch it because Samuel L. Jackson is in
I think he's
58.
the only person, I'm going to say he's the only person in Do the Right Thing that has a cross-generational identity. Oh, actually, what's his name? Giancarlo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Maybe.
people may not recognize
Maybe.
him. They know him from Breaking Bad, but they might not realize that.
Giancarlo Esposito is his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the
Tim Bowers says high tomorrow, 58 Fahrenheit in Stuttgart. Whether or not Tim Bowers is actually in Stuttgart. No, I'm just kidding. You are, right? And that's good.
That's kind of scary, though, that I feel like Stuttgart is a similar place on the, what would that be? Latitude or longitude? Latitude as
Brian Sarnik, great looking last name, and that I probably didn't.
That you massacred.
Yeah, that I massacred. Is asking any plans to repress Tool the Man on vinyl. And hi, Larry.
I think it would be too expensive. Honestly, it's owned by Warner Brothers, and in order to press it, for instance, we or someone, such as we did with Daisy Chain, Chris at Lotus Pool, ponied up the cash to license the vinyl of Daisy Chain Reaction. But Tool of the Man,
same thing. Yeah,
same thing. It would be a huge.
So Warner Brothers will press it for us, but we have to pay them, and we have to make something like 20,000 copies of it or something.
No,
right?
they have to press it for us. So that's how they control the licensing. And so what you have to do is when you license the record, you pay them per unit, not only the pressing cost for them, but then also their licensing cost per unit. So you're basically buying the record from them, and then they make their profit from day one. They don't, but they don't take a cut later, but that doesn't really matter. So, short answer to a long, no. Short question, short answer is no. I don't think we will be.
Are we playing any songs from Tool the Man on when we play on Friday? That's
we haven't
announced,
discussed.
By the way.
Yeah,
we should.
We should announce. Yeah, I
drum
forgot
roll,
to put that
please.
on my list.
We
November. Oh, go ahead.
Go on. No, I don't know what day it is.
I think it's November 26th, isn't it? Day after Thanksgiving. Buy nothing but a ticket and a T-shirt day.
We better get some new T-shirts.
Poster Children with Nonagon at the Bottom Lounge. Friday, November 20. I believe it's the 26th. I forgot to write it down.
It's the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It's the day after Thanksgiving. So
That's right.
after you buy your TV set and punch somebody, to get your TV set, come and celebrate. What are we celebrating? The end of COVID. The end of my breast cancer, maybe, knock on wood. The end of Trump, knock on wood.
And
the beginning.
And we have to be honest here. People are saying, when are you going to come to so-and-so? And honestly, we're not, because it's not financially feasible for us.
You have to come to us now.
Yeah, you have to come to us now. We're basically what's the town in Arkansas? Not Bentonville.
Hope it's not.
No,
oh.
not those towns. What's the town where you go see the country musicians?
Oh, Chicago is the new
Is our
Dollyland.
Dollywood? No,
Dollywood.
Close.
Chicago is our Nashville, is our Memphis.
Nope.
Chicago is our Memphis. And at some point, Branson, Joshua Vaughn
Thank
is
you,
saying,
Branson,
Evan
Missouri.
Lamp,
That's
thank
why
you.
I was off.
Branson,
was
Missouri,
because
you said Arkansas.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
and
I mean, honestly, we're old people. We've done the touring. I mean, if you're willing to pay us a huge amount of money to go play your backyard barbecue, I guess we might be able to do
we
that.
probably won't though, because we
Yeah.
have to practice and stuff. It's
a lot of work.
Yeah,
So
it's too hard.
right now, we're going to play in Chicago. Hopefully, let's all keep our
knock on wood again.
respective crap together, and we'll
Yeah.
play a show in November.
So are we playing?
Anything from Toolman? We haven't finalized the set list yet, so we're talking.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah,
discussing.
yeah. We're just
Emailing.
Yeah, but I think we should play Cancer. I want to start with Cancer. Wing, ticka ticka ding, ticka ticka ding, ticka ticka ding. Hi, we're poster children. Dun, 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 dun.
And
I think that's awesome.
we might play something from RTFM. It's somehow appeared on the streamers recently, so
Oh, really?
some people can listen to it.
Wait, RTFM is also a Warner Brothers record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
okay.
again, and that never came out on vinyl, and probably never will, unless
Because I can't figure out how to encode the data that's on it in vinyl.
no, it's the
RTFM
same
has-
problem. Same problem
yeah.
is that they own the rights, but they don't want to press the vinyl. But if we want to press the vinyl, we'd have to pony up a bunch of
We
cash,
can pay them lots of money to press
Yes.
up our vinyl for us.
or ask someone
New
else to do it.
Boyfriend, Black Dog, best songs to start a show. Yeah, Black Dog. We haven't started a show with Black Dog in a long time. Wah. It goes like that. Wah. Can we say anything else that we did?
No, not yet.
Damn
let's save
Okay.
it. Save it until we have a cool announcement.
All right.
Um,
Poster children announcement's good enough.
yeah, I think a show announcement.
'Kay.
That's yeah.
All right. I'll give you that.
Anything else? And so we are gonna. The original intent was to kind of move to every 2 weeks situation again with the show, where we do this every 2 weeks. If you remember, before the pandemic, we were doing it in that pretty much that schedule, and then we moved to weekly because we were just sitting at home all the time. But that's becoming increasingly difficult now
Yeah, we're
that
not
we're
singing. We're
working.
not singing at home anymore.
Yeah,
And
yeah, we can't just take a break and walk up to the podcasting. We've got we're actually moving out and about the world. That's actually why we started. 2 minutes after the half hour was because Rose
I was moving out.
actually
Yeah.
walked into the room and sat down, and then I hit stream because she had to drop off.
Do you know what?
Former bag boy.
Yeah, former bag boy who's quit his job. He quit his job before because he thought he had another job somewhere else.
No, he quit his job because he did not
He hated it.
like it. He did not
Yeah.
think he had another job, but he thought in this environment that he'd be able to get another job, which he will.
Yeah. But he's working at the Castle now. The Castle Theater. Just off what?
Yeah, yeah.
Off,
He's
off
doing,
the right, like he's what?
he's doing some rock work.
Yeah, yeah. But you know who's playing there tonight?
I do not.
The Get Up Kids.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you're playing, you're gonna hang out over there. So, okay, and I'm trying to think of what else. So yeah, so I had to drive him there. I had to pick one of them up from actual physical. No, he's not. I don't think he's doing anything that exciting. Taking tickets. Yeah, just like moving around. Have you guys noticed like moving around to different places, going to different meetings, like going to the grocery store, coming back and stuff like that, like actual physically walking around and having to park and walk from the parking lot to the building and stuff is takes time. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
We've started teaching classes again.
In person.
Like in person with masks on.
Yep. And just as of, on Monday, I guess it goes into effect. There's indoor mask mandate again. Which
just is going to be more, like I'm trying to, I didn't meditate today, so fuck me. And also I didn't meditate yesterday, but I had a good streak going for a while. And it's calming me down. It's reminding me, if you've done it enough in your life, then you kind of remember like how to catch that ball, like, oh crap, I'm starting to freak out. Oh no. So I don't remember what I was saying now. What was I talking about?
I remember what I was talking about is that we're trying to go back to every 2 weeks. Of course, we had a interview last week that dropped, and then this week we're doing a live stream, but maybe we'll have an interview in 2 weeks or a live stream in 2 weeks. But the plan is that a week from now Rose was gonna have her colonoscopy, but that just got canceled. So.
Oh yeah, they called me up and told me that, and she sounded angry. The nurse sounded angry. She's like, "Well, one of the people who puts you to sleep quit."
And that was the day that they announced
that you needed to be vaccinated if you were a healthcare worker here.
Yeah. So
that was a political, like the woman was calling me up to be political. You know what else? That was another thing too.
Well, that's an assumption you made, but
no, I don't think so. Like, why would she say, one of the people quit? You know? Like, why would she say that right on that day? Like, right after they announced, right after Governor Nazi Pritzker announced that we have to, and I'm saying that not like I'm theater of the minding. Okay. What I was going to complain about something else now. I can't remember what it was. Some other political thing. Oh, apparently the PE teachers in the 7th grade are not wearing masks. And I've been hearing enough about that from our little person. What do we call him? Number 2? That's not good.
I don't like
anyway, that. I've been hearing, like, he's complaining enough, and he's just like he's writing down stuff in a notebook, like, to tell us all the things that have gone wrong in school and stuff. But the gym teachers are not wearing, the PE teachers are not wearing masks, and because of that, the kids are not wearing masks. They're all supposed to be masked. They're all supposed to, and then when the kids who are wearing masks, tell the other kids, hey, put your masks on, those kids point to the gym teachers and they go, well, they're not wearing their masks. It's terrible. So, and I've heard this for the whole week, and that kid is like, this kid of ours, like, love that, he's a good, really good student. Not that Bag Boy wasn't, but, well, he wasn't. This student, this kid actually wants to do the right thing all the time, right? So I was getting mad. So finally I had enough. I was like, I'm just going to call the school, because they told us in the first school meeting we were ever at that school, that junior high school, you have to advocate for your kid. So I was like, okay, I'll advocate for, yeah, Jeremy, we'll talk about lotion in a minute. You have to advocate for your kids. So I called up. I finally called the number because I still had it on my phone. Hello. I'm a parent of one of the students, one of the 7th graders there. I think, okay, I'll tell them it's the 7th grader because I want them to narrow it down. And my child has been telling me, and I'm not going to tell them it's my son, because then they'll narrow it down, that the PE teachers are not wearing masks, and I find that very upsetting. Because what's happening is, and I talk about modeling good behavior. I think, and the kids, and the kids. What did I say? The kids are pointing to the teachers and saying they don't have to wear their masks now. And I'm really, my child is a really likes school, and I don't want him to become disillusioned in the first week. And the person on the phone goes, "Is this Rose?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's some other mom that I know, but like, it was just like, I was trying to be all like, cause I would figure Dow would be horrified. He said the gym was fun today though.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that's good. Were the teachers wearing masks? No.
He's vaccinated.
Yeah. So on allmusic.com, I am listed as singing backup on some Lotion record, and there is nothing that anybody in the world can do to take that off of there. You can try. I myself, whose name is on there erroneously, attempted many, many years ago. You can't take it off. It's just there forever. I have sung backup on a Lotion record. I don't even know why. It really upsets me. So that's why I don't go to allmusic.com. I'm not even going to click on it. They put a link in the chat here. Jeremy said, congratulations. Yeah, I knew about it. I've known about it for years. It's been like this for 10 years.
Friend of the show emailed and said, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's what's his name from Screamy Trees has some derogatory things to say about you all.
Oh my God.
It's like, yeah,
Somebody,
we've already been through that, but thank you.
Rick is very stuck up, and Rose cries all the time, and I made her think that I was being nice to her by being nice to her, and I sure tricked her.
But yeah, so
That's
the
how
thing
he
is
talks,
that
too. Like,
yeah,
fuck you.
So there's some music online that says Poster Children. That's not us. There's credits on All Music. I've got credits on like Jawbone and the Knuckleheads or something that I didn't do, and it's
Maybe
just
you did.
but the database gets put into the database wrong, and it's there forever.
Tim Bowers wants us to say something for him. Now I'm gonna have to check to make sure that his wife's really named Colleen. I'm gonna look on your Facebook. If it's not there, then forget it. You better say.
Why are you so suspicious of?
Because somebody. Oh, he's got a salaryman thing up. Okay, all right, never mind. I'm still clicking to see family and relationships. Okay, it's there. Hi, Colleen. Tim loves you.
I think you kind of ruined it.
He's got a beautiful picture. Look at how pretty she is. All right. I'm not supposed to talk like that. All right. Hi, Colleen. Tim loves you. There.
Yeah. So. But yeah, for us, for me teaching at least, I haven't had any mask problems. So I think.
Oh, I did. I
had
had
a little bit, but yeah.
Oh, the first day, this kid had his mask just on his mouth, not over his nose or anything, and he's like, I don't know, I feel really bad. It's like white spiky hair, and I'm like, you should know better, man. Why are you doing this? I didn't say anything, and then he's like calling me, come over here and help me on my computer and stuff, and I'm like far away from him, like, yeah, well, I can't see it from here, but just describe me what the error message is, and he's just like, he's not getting it. And he's like, why don't you come over here? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to come over there, but you got to put your mask on over your nose like everybody else has, because I just finished battling cancer and I don't want to get sick from COVID now. And he went, put it over his nose. And I'm like, I'm going to hell now. I'm going to hell. I can't believe I played the C card.
But you won't be going to hell for a long time, so.
What do you mean?
Well, if you got COVID, you might go there faster.
Oh, I get it. I felt like such an asshole after that. And then and then I was like, okay, I got to make sure that he feels okay, that I'm not mad at him and stuff. So I hung out with him, hey, you got it, oh, ha ha ha, joking and stuff. You're doing good. Good job, man, and stuff like that. I was so worried I was going to alienate a student, on the first day. But then
you don't
there's
want
another
it to be contentious.
Yeah, I don't want to be contentious at all. But then there's another more death jokes, please. There's another student who's just got his mask on under his chin, and I just don't feel like saying anything to him at all. I just can't, man. If you're just gonna do that, I don't know. It's weird. I feel really bad because certain students I feel like picking on, and then others I just forget it. I'm not even gonna bother.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. Chin diapers. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to be consistent and yell at everybody. But you can kind of tell, this guy looks like he's going to have a problem, like if he puts his mouth and then I had a accommodation card too, like so this is interesting in my class, like somebody's got the accommodation card that says that if I give a test, they get an extra day
Right.
to take the test,
Mm-hmm.
which is totally fine. And then it says something like this may not apply to and also assignments. They always get it. They get if I give a 1-day assignment, they get to turn it in the next day if they want. But it says this may not apply for multiple day assignments spanning multiple days. My assignments usually have a month to turn in. You could turn them in a month. So I wanted to clarify and with them. I'm like, well, I give you the assignment and you've got 30 days to finish it. And they were like, oh, well, no, I have 31. And then I was like, really? And then I started worrying, well, for me, okay, fine. But like another, if that's how you understand your accommodations and that's not how another professor understands it, then you're going to be in trouble. So then I emailed the dean of students and I'm like, hey, is this true? And they're like, yeah, it's true. And I'm like thinking, wow.
Usually they have to tell you ahead of time if they're taking the extra day. I thought is what but maybe that's just for people where it's a conditional thing. It's not a continual thing. It's like circumstantial, like certain circumstances mean they'll ask for extra time, but they have to ask ahead of time. But yeah, I feel like it, for me at least, it went okay.
I love being back in school. But then I was like, I realized I frown and I make faces a lot, and you can't see that. You can't see my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm very theatrical on the stage
Mm-hmm.
on the stage of the class. Yeah. So you're happy to be back? You're
Sure.
teaching a graduate seminar too.
Oh yeah.
What are you
yeah.
teaching in there? Will you tell me?
It's just the usual thing. I think
What's
that's what
the
I always
usual?
do. It's just
Math?
theory and research and stuff.
All right. So what else? What do you got on the? Speaking of school, we watched that. We were like, oh, let's watch that thing that everybody's complaining about.
The chair.
The chair, with the spunky 50-year-old woman with long curly hair, who's a chair, and the scrappy bearded ne'er-do-well, but brilliant professor. Drunken, high, brilliant professor. And all the old white people who are still in the...
And we've only watched the first 2 episodes, so the whole... Yeah, we haven't gotten deep into the...
I haven't read any critique on it at all either. I've read something, somebody going, what's right about the chair is what's wrong with it. And I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm not going to watch it, so I don't have to worry about it. But then we watched it.
But only 2 episodes so
By
far,
accident.
so we don't have the full... We don't have a full review to see where things go, but it's already started to spin off into areas.
I liked watching the people have sex with each other, though. I was like, oh, this is cute. They're having sex with each other. Like I like that. And what was nice about it was neither of them are married, right? One of them's wife is dead, and the other one doesn't have a husband, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they can have sex with each other. It's good.
It's allowed.
I was like, oh, isn't that cute? They're having sex, and then there's a disaffected youth, and there's a lot of white. The only thing that I didn't like, I was falling asleep, but I felt like the old woman, who was pretty attractive, I thought, like the 70 or 80-year-old old woman, was kind of theatrical. I could not wrap my head around the way that she was acting. I didn't like it at all. I was like, is she like just a really, really bad actress? So is she? I don't even know who she is. Who is she?
She's from TV. She was on a TV show. I don't.
Dr. Death on Peacock, Larry says.
Yeah, haven't watched that.
Oh, Colleen said thanks for the shout out. Noticed, Tim, that she didn't tell me to say Colleen loves you, Tim. She just said we enjoy listening to you. I'm sorry. That's really rude.
Yeah, boy, you're a troublemaker.
I know. I'm tired. Okay.
I'm tired.
It's for you guys. It's got to be like after 10 p.m. there, right? It's probably pretty late there in Germany.
Well, even if you're in Germany, you're on American time, right? Even if you're living in Germany, you still are on American time, right?
Now you guys can't have an argument now because of this. All right, let's move on. What else is there?
Charlie Watts died.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that, and I'll just drink some water here.
There's not much to say. He's a drummer. He was a longtime drummer. Cool dude. Played the drums for 60 years. How long did he play the drums for? For the Rolling Stones? Yeah, like what? How long was that? 63 since
That's a
1963.
long time.
It is a long time. It's a long time for a drummer,
Yeah.
and so those drummers out there take a lesson. Yeah, you should definitely start transitioning to old school jazz style if you want to be a drummer into your 70s, because I don't think you can John Bonham your way into your 70s without blowing out major joints in your arms or legs. Yeah.
Chad Twiner says Rolling Stones meh. Although I gotta say, like I when we covered them, and that's when I learned I learned a little bit of their songs. Rick just sweats. That's
Is somebody saying I'm
Larry
sweating?
wants to know that you're wants to know if you're okay because you're sweating in the neck area.
Yeah, no,
We don't have air conditioning here.
We
my
have
friends.
we don't have the air conditioning on.
And it's 94 degrees outside.
I usually spend my time in the basement, but yes, I am aware that I am sweating.
You know, it's really nice of you to let me not have air conditioning on in the house. I like that. I think that's you're very sweet to do that for me. And it's for me,
it's
right?
also environmentally, I feel like we're burning the planet down. So that's how I rationalize it now, and I just spend all my time in the basement. It's just that we don't have the Radio Zero set up in the basement, so I have to sweat my way through it.
But the problem is every time I go in the basement for a while, and it's like probably 10 degrees cooler down there, and it's dry because you've got the dehumidifier running. So like then if I come back upstairs, it's like, oh, is it raining in the house? It's like so hot up here. But it's nice at night. I love that nighttime breeze.
Yeah, nighttime it gets down to about 80 degrees. It's great.
Could be a lot worse, and it will get a lot worse, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else? What else you got? All right. So John Albert's saying set up a fan to blow air up from the basement. So get this. Every night I practice capoeira upstairs in our attic on our third floor. We have a third floor. It is not insulated at all, and it has got to be 100 degrees up there. And I thought I would get sick from doing that, but I didn't. I just go up there and I turn on the fan, like the house fan. There's like a whole house fan, and like a little bit of wind comes through the window, and I love it. I sweat like crazy, but like it doesn't bother me at all. I wonder how hot it is up there though. It's probably just like 90 degrees or something.
That's all.
Yeah, well, that's not bad. Like if it was over 100, I think that would be a problem. And so now we've lost the tree, and it feels like it's cooler upstairs.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe the tree trapped the heat or something.
Yeah, that sounds.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, doesn't
that
make
the
sense.
tree that would shade
The house.
half the house was actually making it warmer.
Yeah. Larry Singh likes hanging out in his attic. It's a home sauna. That's what is upstairs. It's
Home sauna.
unbelievable. It is so hot where I work out. Okay.
When what do you like about the Rolling Stones, Rose? You said when we learned
there was that song that we're playing.
Right.
It's like starts with and they were talking about a man. And remember, we were playing it. We were listening to it first time. Yeah, sing
it's a relatively obscure Rolling Stones song, and where he asks, "Can you guess my name?" Right?
Yeah, and I was like, "Do they ever tell us who the name is?" And then these guys were laughing at me, like it's the Devil Rose. It's a song. It's what? No, you guys said what was the name of the song again?
Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah, like it's called Sympathy for the Devil, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah.
And that's actually, that's probably one of his more impressive drum parts, and seeing the what is it, a Jean-Luc Godard film originally, where a lot of times you'll just get an edit of the Rolling Stones in the studio working on that song. But the song, I mean, basically when they changed it from just a straight rock song to that beat is what made it so impressive. And that was, Charlie Watts. That's a good example of what he brought to the table. But he's also, he was a pretty, you read about him and he's just kind of like, just a rock and roll band. And I think you can hear that in his drumming where it's just kind of like, a rock and roll band, you just go, it's rock and roll. It's not jazz. It's not like I'm going to play something complicated. It's like, this is stupid music. I'm going to play a stupid drum beat, which he did very well. But he's not, he was, his flashiness was not in what he played, but how he played. And actually how minimal his playing is in a lot of situations, and it's the songs hold together. It's pretty impressive, actually, if you start listening and trying to play along. Right?
I can't stop yawning. I'm sorry, Chad. I watched. Then I think we watched them performing, like when we were practicing those songs.
Yeah.
And the lead singer is kind of. I thought for like about a half an hour, I thought, the lead singer is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Got a big mouth.
Yeah, weird way.
Yeah. But I thought I watched him, dance around and stuff. You've seen them live, right, with your mom?
No, my mom did see them live, but I have not.
Oh, okay.
I never saw them live. They were one of the first bands that was what I considered prohibitively expensive to see. And I don't, and I've ranted before about this, most recently on another podcast, but I really like them and I like their music and I like their records, but I don't really need to see them play their greatest hits live. I would gladly, when they do those little tiny shows, or they did those tiny shows in a small theater, I'd go to see that, right? And the film from 1971, 72 tour, ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones, they still seem they're a band playing new music, right? And again, another podcast you can listen to that kind of goes into the detail about that shift. And so right around Some Girls, they were still playing shows that were predominantly the music from the new record and then some hits. And then after that, it's pretty much they're an oldies band live. Great band, but still, it's nothing I need to see in a stadium. I don't need to see that. So
I would never go to a stadium to see any band.
Yeah, it's just not enjoyable for me.
It's
my
terrible.
life was ruined by great music in small clubs, and there's really no reason to.
Your life wasn't ruined. It was wonderful.
It just means that I'm not going to spend $500 or $1,000 seeing a postage stamp sized performance of.
But you paid to
the
be
Rolling
with
Stones.
other people who are like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of goes back to that, oddly enough, Martin Scorsese comment about like Marvel films and everything like that. It's an amusement park ride. It's not actually a movie, and it is. It's more of kind of an experience, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily a musical experience, that kind of thing. So that I just was not old enough to have seen them as a live performing.
You're not
band.
a hippie.
Yeah. Well, they were always a little edgy, but yeah, hippies, I guess. What else? I was thinking about our future as a country and trying to understand where we're going. And I decided we have to take the post-empire model and perspective of our country. So what happened? Like, I'm thinking of like Europe, and so I'm thinking.
You mean like Empire Records, the
No.
movie? Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about once you no longer are the dominant force, world leader, and so I think and how we're going to evolve. And then I started thinking about sort of Eastern Europe and Western Europe, so red state, blue state kind of thing, and how we're going to sort of divide up into that. And yeah.
Wow, that's pretty. Yeah.
And so that's how I'm
Word.
understanding it. We're going to turn into this strange situation.
Is it going to be okay that we're surrounded by red states?
Well, yeah,
Here in
that's kind of
Illinois?
like East and West Germany, like West Germany being, or West Berlin, you know? Yeah. It'll just, you can have islands and you can have, different sort of cultural and levels of,
So,
just infrastructure
all right,
and
so
everything
let me
like
ask
that.
you some questions about that. So in the future, then people from Indiana, for example, would come here to the blue area of Illinois for what?
Medical care,
Oh, okay, all right.
um,
School,
terminating pregnancies
pregnancies.
from
Ah.
rape and incest, things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. And we would go to Indiana.
For guns, fireworks,
That's how it is now.
cheap liquor,
Yeah, cigarettes.
cigarettes,
Good
exactly.
cigarettes, right?
Yeah,
Good cigarettes.
yeah.
Okay.
But then the question is will people will they start building walls between, like they don't want, like if you start losing, if Indiana starts losing everybody to
Illinois.
or Illinois starts
Well, no,
putting up walls, if it's the opposite where it's like we don't want all these people that have said they don't want health care and paid for by the state, and then they're
going to tax our system, not tax by
they'll
taxation, but
come
they're
over the
like
border
they'll
and
hurt our system.
So they refuse to get vaccinated, but then when they get sick, they jump the wall and come over to Illinois to get the medical care.
And then we get the Delta, we get the Epsilon variant.
Exactly.
Is that what comes after Delta? I don't know. Go to
Omega.
Indiana for T-shirts depicting Jesus holding an AR-15 with a bald eagle on his shoulder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah. Which we do anyway. All right. So and like, what about jobs?
Yeah, I mean, jobs with high income jobs, right? You go to the blue state.
But then you got to be vaccinated or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, then but in your red state, you've got all those people that underground economy, right? So just like you had on the other side of the Iron Curtain, you had these black markets and underground economies, and so you're doing your fake vaccination records and everything like that. Yeah. It's just
right.
Classic dystopian kind of world.
I'm ready for it. That's good. Okay. I notice I am yawning a lot, and I think it's because I've been like tied up in knots all day because I've been so freaked out about like stupid meetings and stuff. So sorry about my yawning. I think it's actually, it's not like I'm tired or lazy. It's like I haven't been breathing for 6 hours straight. Will Canada build a wall? Tina Nixon asks.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. They should.
And is that in Infinite Jest? I just saw,
yes,
for some reason, I'm starting to get old articles from a year ago about David Foster Wallace. I don't know how all of a sudden that's got into my search results, and then I get automatic news stories fed to me, and sometimes they're old, and someone did write an article that David Foster Wallace predicted 2020 in Infinite Jest completely. Wow. But yeah, I mean...
So there was a toxic event, right? And I believe, and so they had giant
fans
pushing the air back towards
to the United States. Yeah.
So, which you can laugh all you want, but like the Chicago River, right? They reversed the flow of the Chicago River, right?
Oh yeah. There's that great article that was in the New York Times a while ago about Chicago and the lake.
Yeah.
How it's not the oasis or the place to escape global warming. The lake is definitely feeling the changes too. It's not just being on the coasts, but lakes also are being affected by climate change. And so that's why being landlocked in the middle of Illinois in 90-degree weather with random deluge-like rain events apparently is the best we can hope for.
Yeah, I like it.
In the Midwest.
I've been enjoying it. I like this weather.
It's the most secure place.
94 is good for me. 100, the thermometer actually said 100 the other day, and I was like, woo! I like this. I love it. So, okay, what else you got?
that was it, man.
You-
Yeah, it's been so long since we talked, but like
To each other.
I didn't even make a list. I had a list, but I didn't think we'd run out of stuff to talk about.
I'm trying to figure, like, I'm, you know, when you have like a list of things that you have to do during the day and you're like not looking forward to any of them. And this was my day. And now I only have one more thing. And they're causing all kinds of anxiety. And now I have just one more thing left. And it's to not teach capoeira, but have a workshop, Jesus Christ. What is it? To offer
Facilitate?
a meeting. I will be opening the door into a classroom so that the capoeira club, which it consists of me and this one other girl, can have a meeting. And that's what we'll be doing. Although the girl who wanted to have the meeting today is sick now, so she won't be there. So it's just me. And then I like put up a flyer. So there's a problem with having a capoeira club, and we're trying to do EDI, right? Equity, diversity, and inclusion here at Illinois State University. And I don't like to have an activity that's a workout activity that makes you move, teaches you different language, has you sing, has you play music, and has you do that with other people. And comes from both Africa and Brazil. You would think that would be like that. That's a worthwhile endeavor, I think, for the university. And so the university supports it very well. But nobody wants to do it. And it's too hard for everybody. So I know I'm gonna go there, and there's gonna be nobody sitting in that room, and I'm gonna be like, what do I do? Like, you know how like you have a meeting scheduled with like a student wants you. Yeah, Tina's gonna come though. Good, Tina. Where are you located, Tina? Can you get here in the next 16 minutes? No, it's 5:00 is when the not class, the meeting is.
You were going to say when you have a meeting or something and people don't show up, or
Yeah. What do you do? It's like now you kind of got to protect yourself, because I was thinking like, okay, well, there's a beautiful room to have this class in, and it's far away from any parking, and it's far away from my office, or there's this ugly, horrible. Tina's going to be late because she's from outside Detroit. There's there's just my the basement room underneath my office. We could go in there, and I was like making the decision. You know what? Let's just do it in the basement room under my office, because no one's going to come. And now like there's all kinds of equipment to bring, and so I can leave all the equipment in my office, right? I can leave all the musical instruments in my office, and I can leave whatever else in my office, and then if people show up, I can bring it down to the room and stuff. But the more I prepare for this, the less chance that there will be anybody there. So now I'm thinking, well, how many beating bows should I bring? If I bring none, there are going to be 100 people there. If I bring a bunch, there will be nobody there. So I'm like, do I want people to come?
So indie rock prepared you for this, right?
Yeah.
That sounds like
absolutely
the story of every indie rock tour.
Yeah.
It's like you never know what's going to happen.
This is way less popular than indie rock, though.
but
way less popular. Yeah, you're right, though. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's good. It is exactly.
And not to go back to Charlie Watts, but he was not known for being interviewed and everything. And I was watching one interview where he was talking about his jazz band. So he had a jazz combo in later years. And, he basically said, well, I don't like doing interviews, but you kind of have to do it if you want people to show up, and especially for jazz, because the typical jazz show is you the band performing for 3 people, and those 3 people are your girlfriend, your friend, and somebody else's friend from the band, right? That's a jazz show, right? And so he would agree, he would begrudgingly do interviews for his jazz combo, because he knew that if he didn't, no one would show up. And so, yeah, it's the way it is.
Yeah. And with like obscure stuff like this. So like I was thinking, well, if we were to have this class where they have the what's the Zumba classes and whatever the kids are doing that isn't Zumba right now. They don't do Zumba
kids.
like the if
Oh,
we were
wow.
so there's like
Yeah.
a whole like a building away is the student fitness center where they teach every workout, CrossFit, whatever class, right, that they have there. And so I was like looking, I was like, I tried this 10 years ago. I was like, you guys got any Taekwondo classes here? And they were like, oh no, we don't do that here. That's what they said. And I was talking to somebody else too. They're like, no, they don't do that there. It's too weird. Like they don't, it's only like white people here. There's not going to be any Taekwondo. They don't like martial arts because they don't want to get hurt and stuff. And I was like, really? And I went to talk to them, and then I walked away going, yeah, no, I'm just like, I didn't even want to pursue it. 10 years later, I saw the fitness people up on the quad again, and I was looking at their offerings, and I'm like, oh, they've got yoga now, wow, that's weird. That's a weird thing for people to do, right? And I talked to the person in charge, and I was like, do you have like dance workout classes? Because that's what capoeira is. It's a dance workout class, And she's like, yeah, I don't think we do that sort of stuff here. I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Well, if you called it dance workout, you might get more people.
I did call it that.
Yeah,
I was like, it's kind of, I used to, like 10 years ago when I described it to people, I was like, it's like yoga and Zumba mixed together. And they'd be like, oh, it sounds interesting. But like, it's just terrible. And then on top of it, if you teach it authentically, then it's boring and it hurts. And so there's a different way. So like I'm thinking, like God forbid people show up in this class. Like sometimes also we give like different professors will give extra credit to students. Like there's a professor that teaches ethnomusicology here that'll give students like 6% higher grade for their final fucking grade if they go to all, this was like one of the years, if they go to all the capoeira classes. Like they have to go to like 8, not all of them either. It was like 1% credit every, up to 6% or something. So if you had a 65% in the class, you were getting a D, and you went to the capoeira classes, you'd get a C. The final grade, he gave you up to 6%, something like that. And so people would come in, they'd be like, I have to do this, So that would there'd be students in the class, and they'd be like angry that they had to work out, and they'd be like, "Can I leave now?" And like they come in like wearing high heels and stuff, like, can you just, it's a workout class. Do you work out? Do you ever work out? Yeah, I just worked out in the gym. You didn't have to. You could just come here. We could, it's just terrible. So then now, so I have 2 different ways of teaching this class. I could teach it authentically. God forbid if my teacher is listening to me, I will be fucked. And he's not listening to me, thank God. But I could teach it authentically, which is exactly what I'm going to do if there are students there. But there's another way some other teachers teach where they pair students together and they let them like, one of them does one little kick and the other one bends over to avoid it and stuff. And so in that way, you've got 2 students, like you pair all the students together and they get to be with another person, and then you make them they switch partners and do another thing and stuff. It's so low stakes and it's so easy and fun. And like if I know that if you do it, because this is how I used to teach Taekwondo too. And if you do a class like that, people like it because they get to interact with each other. It's like they're forced to interact with each other. And it's not like you're dancing or doing anything weird. You're just like, you're kind of moving back and forth, and like there's a prescribed movement that you do. There's not that much improvisation or anything like that.
Right.
But there's not going to be anybody there, and what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use this time to prepare. I'm going to do something else, like something that I got to do for next week, so that'll be good.
Yeah. Have a backup plan.
And try not to be angry about it. And another thing, now, I'm just trying to unwind my stomach. And then we had all of our boss came to our meeting today, our faculty meeting, and I was terrified I was going to do something wrong. That was really, and I'm like, I just want to impress this person. You know, I really like her. She's doing great, I think. You know, when you have I've talked about this before, a woman is in charge of stuff, and either you see a bunch of women around her, like who also like think she's great, or there's a woman in charge of stuff, and like there are no women anywhere near around her, and then you know she's a psychopath, right? And I've known psychopath women to be in charge before, but that's not what's going on here. There's all kinds of nice people all around, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's not all or nothing. Yeah, it's a nice blend.
Larry says it sounds more fun than the square dancing they were going to do in PE. We used to do square dancing in PE, and I liked it. And also for Brazilians, if you're like, hey, you want to do capoeira? That is like square dancing to them. They're like, no, I really don't. Just like if you like, did you like square dancing?
Me?
Yeah, in high school. Not high school. It was under
yeah,
under high
junior
school.
high, I believe.
No, ours was K through 6. Ours was in Walden Elementary School.
I feel like ours was in junior high.
No way.
Yeah.
There is no way.
We also
you
had
are younger than me.
Fortnightly. I've talked about Fortnightly, which was
You played Fortnite.
No, every fortnight you would learn how to dance. So like I think it was 8th graders. So it was like this ancient. It felt like it was sort of this tradition from olden times.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And
we
so-
did that too.
Yeah, and there was a live band, which was 3. You know, basically it was Charlie Watts, and let me think of a good stand-up bass player, but it was like these 3 ancient jazz players. You know, one with like I think he just had a hi-hat. Actually, I think it might have been a hi-hat, kick, and snare. It might have been a cocktail kit. So, and then you'd learn how to dance. But then we also learned disco. So this would have been, for me, 1978. And so, yeah, all the 8th graders, it was voluntary. You know, it was like Saturday afternoons or something, or early evenings. And you'd go every 2 weeks, and you'd dress up, and you'd learn how to dance. And then, yeah, the guys who probably were my age now, right? But they seemed like they were prehistoric
No, they were probably
musicians.
younger than you.
Yeah, exactly.
They were probably in their 20s.
Well, you know,
30s.
people who were
27.
born.
They were 27.
When you saw a person that was, 55 years old in the 1970s, they looked like they had been through hell and back. I mean, that at 55 in the 1970s, a 55-year-old is somebody who had smoked a pack of cigarettes every hour for the past 50 years. So it was, since they were 5, they had been smoking. So everyone looked ancient if they were over 50. And so it was, these ancient guys playing. But the guy played a disco beat, and then we did disco.
Saturday afternoon fever.
Yes, exactly. Saturday afternoon fever. That's very funny. That's exactly what was going on. It was funny. But then, I believe we had square dancing in PE during junior high. Yeah, we were doing dancing. Sorry.
No, it's.
Anything else?
I don't know. I was so worried and nervous. Like I was even thinking to myself, why am I even, like I was just like making myself worried and nervous, like just because I felt bad not being worried and nervous. Like, cause really what's going to happen? I'm going to get fired. Like I have tenure. So if I'll get fired from being y'all's chair, y'all's director, who cares?
We just have to watch the TV series and see.
Oh, we'll see what
all
happens to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
I don't know if I want to watch that.
I know.
I like seeing them have sex. I don't know why.
I don't remember that much sex in it.
They one of them got high, and then they both got high, and then they had sex, I think. And I was like, wow, it's the second episode. It's like we're not even an hour into this, and I got to watch these people have sex. But they seemed sad. They seemed like they were lonely. And they wanted to, and then there was I don't know. It was, I don't usually like that kind of thing, but I was like, oh, I'll watch this.
I'm just trying to figure out why anyone under the age of 50 would want to watch that show. I mean, it does have college students in it. It's got a whole range of ages, but there's so many old people actors in it. like Bob Balaban. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was great seeing Bob Balaban.
Yeah, I like seeing Bob Balaban.
But it's like is someone. But maybe that's the whole point. Is the show is for old people like us and older. So maybe there's no problem with it. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because old people watch TV.
Yeah, that's
sometimes.
the way TV or streaming works. Is
yeah.
they're not necessarily targeting a wide audience. They're
Yeah.
targeting a very specific audience. How do you feel about? Oh, you didn't watch the most recent Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but how do you feel how they're handling the post propaganda?
Approve. I approved. Right. I had something to say about that. We didn't talk about this, right?
I don't think so.
So I approved because Rosa, the other, like another, there's like once in a while you see somebody with, long, dark, curly hair on TV shows, right? So the Rosa character had quit Brooklyn, the cop thing, because she didn't want to be a cop anymore because, she was morally upstanding. She couldn't handle it anymore, right?
She felt like she could.
Yeah.
That idea of changing the police force from within was not working for her, I believe.
Yeah, so she quit. So, but she was still in the whole show. She was in it anyway.
And then the second episode, right? She's high.
She's high the whole time. She's
that
like
kind of undermined the whole whole character, I think.
And then but then I had a talk with the 17-year-old who said that this is a Gen Z thing where they get they can get real passionate and really into something, and then they can just flip a switch and be like high, or like and by high I mean high on pot, not high. So they can, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, that's a thing. That's
right.
a Gen Z thing. And I was like, well, Generation X, we don't appreciate that. We're intense all the time, motherfucker. And then I started thinking about like why I don't like Trevor Noah and even John Oliver. Like I like I can handle, and now I sound like my dad, like, Johnny Carson, I don't like that other David Letterman man. He's stupid. He's not stupid. He's like he's not funny. I sound like that, but the thing, like they would say a news story, they'd be getting into it, and then they'd be like, like my cock has a
That's all you
spot
had to
on
say.
it.
Yeah,
like like my cock.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, ha ha, and I'm like,
what the hell, man?
yeah, you were just, it's even worse than like my cock. It'll be like,
it's like, okay, you don't have to continue to give examples, but what you're saying is that the humor ranges widely from high and low, right? Where it's very critical and astute,
I guess,
and then it goes into toilet humor very quickly.
Yeah. Although, I mean, and the thing is, I feel like Jon Stewart used to do that anyway, but there's a difference. So I'm
trying to remember. I have that tape of my grandmother complaining about Carol Burnett, how she thought Carol Burnett was not appropriate.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, that Carol Burnett, she's so inappropriate. I'm like trying to think of like how Carol Burnett was ever inappropriate. It's like seems like the most broad, cheesy humor. But yeah, like Carol Burnett to me is not
inappropriate.
Yeah, definitely not. Like if I'm thinking of comedians from the 60s and 70s, I don't say, well, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Carol Burnett. They defined how to push the edges, push the envelope of comedy. It's not. Yeah, it was strange. So yeah, it's a generational thing. But I guess what's different though is I don't know. Hard to say. Yeah. So I think you should leave, right? So that show, it's got elements of that where it's like it's like super, I don't know, involved humor.
Yeah.
And then also, toilet humor combined. But for some reason, I guess I'm just young at heart, and so I think it's funny, but an older person like you might just not get it.
I don't think anything is funny ever.
That's true.
Like you guys are like, you got to watch this. It's a woman talking about her vagina and she's gay. Watch this. It's funny as hell. Wait, you got to watch this. Yeah.
Nanette? You're talking about that?
I don't know who it is. check this out. Here's a woman. I know you, like years before I had cancer, you got to watch this woman because she's dying of breast cancer. She talks about it. It's hysterical. Yeah, Tig Notaro.
Right.
I listened to a little bit. Hey, I have cancer. Ha, 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 ha. It's not funny, is it? No. It's not, and I'm afraid to get cancer, and then I get cancer, so and I still don't think it's funny. I haven't listened to it again. Here's a gay woman talking, like, yeah, it's like, here's a gay woman who's from Australia talking about being gay. It's hysterical. You got to watch it. And Graham's like, you got to watch this.
It's not that it's hysterical. I mean, that was great because it seemed like she was dismantling comedy, and it was like, oh, there's not, comedy's over. I would have thought you would have liked it because it was just a very very systematic dismantling of comedy. And at the end, I felt like, wow, you can't be a comedian anymore. She just basically destroyed, she shut it down.
I'm trying to think.
And yet, that's not true. It's grown beyond that, or evolved or devolved or whatever. It's changed. But
I feel bad that I don't like. I think I don't like comedy.
Probably not.
There's got to be something I think is funny.
Well, Rose, there's so much tragedy in the world. How can you be laughing?
That's not true. There's certain things that you just broke the funny. There's got to be something I think is funny. I know I've laughed at certain things.
I feel like you're Joel McCrae in Sullivan's Travels. You just need to realize the value of humor.
Fuck.
You need to hit rock bottom and then
Rick and Morty. I don't even like the name of that. I probably wouldn't like it. You know what I think is funny though? I've been watching Silicon Valley, and I just think do I laugh at that, or I just think it's awesome. Oh man. All right, so the thing I loved was the last episode of the first season of Silicon Valley, when they talk about the middle out compression algorithm, and it comes from talking about whacking people off. They move so beautifully, and I didn't know what was going to happen beforehand. Nobody told me what it was going to be, and I was just organically watching this, and I was like, no way. And I've had classes on compression algorithms and stuff, so it totally made sense. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I thought it was hysterical. I love that.
Yeah, and to me, it's just like, even it doesn't matter how intelligent people are, they're going to degrade into sort of this spiral of, talking about the details and minutia, and just, like every meeting winds up eating itself alive at some point. That to me is what I found. I don't know if it's funny though. It's just kind of like, okay, no matter what meeting you have, it's always going to degrade into nonsense at some point.
Well, people want to. So why is that? It's people want to, feel like they're a part of something too.
Yeah, I don't know. So, well, I think it just means that you shouldn't spend too much time in meetings.
Mike Judge can make those jokes because he's an actual engineer. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I actually, I watch that show, and then I want to meet Mike Judge, and I love everything about. I just love everything about it. I'm watching it for the second time, and I am completely inexperienced at watching TV shows, so it's probably not that good. I'm just, I've eaten a shoe, and I'm like, ooh, that tastes good, but I haven't, had any other food.
That's a beautiful metaphor.
Yeah, Rick and Morty is actually ingenious, but I'm sure I don't like it.
No,
and there's something called Regular Show.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, Mark Hamill provides the voice of an albino gorilla named Skips.
Well, maybe you'll like that because it's got
Mark Hamill in it.
All right.
Well, thank you. Oh, shit, I got to go teach.
Gone through all of the liquid in my body and have extracted it from my head, through my head.
Oh, it's good that you're getting a workout.
I need to go take a break and go sit in my basement for a couple of days to recover.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm with an unfortunate fan base. What does that say about you, John? Oh my goodness. All right, I'll have to. I guess I'll have to. And that's the other thing too, is you guys should have heard me ranting about Seinfeld a long time ago. I'm gonna hate it, and then I loved it. So bye. No, you're not unfortunate, John.